morning, welcome back to another week of our band conversion. I have no idea what week it is anymore, 16 or 17, something like that. We have been just doing a few sort of tidying up jobs. So there was a few wires that we needed to lower in the foil barrier so that when we put the ply on, they're underneath our seat, if that makes sense. I'll show you in a little bit what I mean, but Laz swapped the seal out around the door, as when we got it, it was quite damaged on the right hand side and it was creating quite a draft. They are so expensive. He bought one for like 50 quid. Unfortunately it wasn't the right one, even though the man said it was. This one he got was like 100, just over 100 quid, so they're not cheap. In the evenings for the past week I have been doing the wheel arch boxes, something I've been wanting to do for ages, and it's quite an easy task to do in the evening, as well as sort of experimenting with how to build stuff, because obviously I've got no experience, neither has Laz. I've just been watching so many videos about how to do it, so it's quite good to experiment with them because they're not going to be seen. They're going to be obviously hidden within the bench within the bed, but we didn't want to carpet them because we wanted to mount stuff on it, especially on this one where the electrics and everything are going. So let me show you those. So when I was talking about the tidy up, I mean this. So when we cut it out of the foil barrier, they were quite high up, and then I realised, well actually Laz realised, that our bench comes up 50 centimetres and they were way higher than that. So basically what we done was measured 50 where you can see these two pencil lines, and then we put them underneath because basically we've got some conduit that is the same thickness as that batten that is going to encase them. Laz will show you sort of more about that later on. I don't know if it's actually called conduit, but it kind of does the same job. This is the wheel box. So I haven't screwed it down properly on the top yet because behind this, that's where Laz is doing the ground hookup. Again, he'll explain that more in detail. Can't remember if we showed you that ply or not, but we got that up so that my job this weekend is to try and crack on with the bench, so starting to build the furniture. Right, so I'm cracking on with doing the first bench, and you would have seen some time lapse of me, you know, doing some stuff with the wood. So I just thought I'd quickly show you what I'm doing. So I've cut out two 135 centimetre battens, and effectively they are going to sit like this, if that makes any sense. And then I've cut out some 46 centimetre, or just over 46 centimetre vertical battens that will sit in between the two. I don't want to Craig's jig into here, like through that bit, because you're going to see it when you open up the bench, and I'm trying to make it sort of as neat as possible. So what I'm doing, I'm going to screw these on but from the bottom up, so that you're literally not going to see it, but obviously I want to make it flat because this is going to be sitting on the bottom of the van, or the floor of the van should I say. So what I'm doing now is I'm just countersinking 2 screws, or I've got four sections, and I'm countersinking them, and then I'm going to pre-drill them, and then that is going to sit like that. This son can really just go and do one. So quick update, I've got the front done. I have just cut out the bits to go across the top. I just wanted to quickly show you this. I was about to do some Craig's jigging. It's as square as I can get it. I mean, it looks pretty straight, and it's 50 centimetres, and so is that bar or that batten at the back. So fingers crossed that it matches. I mean, they're both, the height is the same. I guess it just depends if the floor is slightly curved, which it shouldn't be, but I feel like you never know in these things. I'm now gonna do some Craig's jigging on my horizontal bits to attach to that batten at the back and the one at the front. So what I'm going to do is going to do two at both ends, and then when I attach it, I'm going to attach it underneath so that you're not going to see them from the top. Well, at least try to anyway. Right, I'm going to sit down. So I think the frame is done. Well, I'm done for this evening. So what I've just been doing was making the little support there, getting it all attached to the back wall and the back battens, and then tomorrow all I need to do is just screw it to the floor and potentially put some L brackets for extra support, so then Laz can figure out what he needs to do. But I think that is enough for today. I've got an absolute headache. Well, I haven't got a headache, but I've got like brain ache from trying to figure out the best way to do it, and so it's kind of like as neat as possible and you don't see all of the ugly Craig's jigs and everything. I've kind of, oh damn it, I should have done that the other way around. So they're pretty hidden, so I'm actually quite pleased with how it's turned out for my first go anyway. So tomorrow, as I said, we're going to get it screwed down to the floor. If Laz is kind of happy with the layout of what he's got to do, he's doing some work today, which is why he hasn't featured in today's vlog. What else is the plan for tomorrow? What's tomorrow? Oh, I might then do, because the main priority was getting this done because Laz was worried about things not fitting, and so he can start sort of piecing it together. So I think then I'm going to try and do some more ply. We might have to do a trip to Wicks to get some more of the thin ply. There's just lots of little bits to do, and now I want to frame everything, but I can't because I haven't got all the walls up. Anyway, on to tomorrow. Happy Sunday! It's actually almost the end of Sunday and I haven't filmed anything because I've been doing exactly the same thing as what I did yesterday, which is the left hand side bench, right hand side bench, the other side of the bed. I'm super happy with it. Let me show you quickly. Ta-da! We have two, and then this is a little walkway. Doop, doop, doop. And now we can finally get a sense of the width of what our sort of hallway is going to be like. We stuck with this width because, so we done some measuring while me and Laz were sitting down to effectively get like this right angle of our legs to make sure that we had the right height. If we're going to be using it quite a lot as a work station area, then we wanted it for the perfect height rather than the bed height, if that makes sense. So it's 50 centimeters tall, which works out perfectly for both me and Laz. Plus I never really sit with my legs at a right angle. I'm always sitting with them cross-legged or something, which is not very good for them, but hey ho. Yeah, and then depth wise it's 60 centimeters. Well, at the moment it's 59.5, and then we've got the 5mm ply to whack on the front of it. And then on the top we're getting 12mm ply, which we just picked up from Wicks, so we've got lots of supplies to keep us going. I'm just going to tidy up a few bits this evening. I'm just going to finish screwing the floor or the battens into the floor. I've done most of them. I've just got them along here, so I'm just going to put some more in just to keep it, but it's super solid. Like there's no wiggle in that. I'm just going to play around with seeing if I can put any L brackets anywhere just to secure it down a bit. This side I did screw to the back, but then took it off because Laz was meant to do the grounding point today, which is he's going to hook up on the wheel arch, which is why the front of it is removable. But unfortunately he's not been able to today as he's still doing some freelance work, so I think he might do that in the week. Super successful weekend getting both of these done. Let me show you from the other side. So this is now the hallway, so you can see it's really a nice sort of width. Well, it's a perfect width for both me and Laz. And that's it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching as always. Join us next week where, look, sneak peek at the toilet. Join us next week where hopefully we can get some more ply up on the walls. It's kind of my mission for the next weekend. I've got a 4-day or 3.5 day weekend, so hopefully we can get some more done. Laz, I should hopefully have Laz back next weekend, fingers crossed. I think his mission is going to be the solar panels because they got delivered, and I think all of the parts did to get them hooked up so that we can get the wires fed through there. Lots and lots of stuff to do. Thanks for watching and see you next week.